What's good, beautiful people? Before we dive into today's shocking story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because, honey, we are about to spill some tea that will have you on the edge of your seat. Now, y'all, when I tell you what I'm about to share with you today literally made my jaw drop to the floor. I am not exaggerating. We're talking about Tamar Braxton. Yes, the Tamar Braxton, and a health emergency so serious that she almost didn't make it through. 2 days ago, Tamar was found in a pool of blood by a close friend. Y'all, this is not clickbait. This is real life and it's scary as hell. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's break down everything we know about what happened to one of our favorite R&B queens. Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty of what happened, let me paint the picture for those who might not be fully up to speed on Tamar's recent journey. If you've been following Tamar Braxton over the years, you know this woman has been through it all. From her music career with the Braxtons, to her reality TV success, to her very public struggles with mental health, relationships, and family drama, Tamar has always been an open book with her fans. Just to refresh your memory, we're talking about the youngest of the Braxton sisters, the one with the powerhouse voice who gave us hits like Love and War. She's also been incredibly vulnerable about her mental health struggles, including a serious suicide attempt back in 2020 that shook the entire entertainment industry. Now, what makes this recent incident even more concerning is that Tamar has been on what seemed like an upward trajectory lately. She's been focusing on her music, spending time with her son Logan, and appeared to be in a much better headspace. Which is why what happened 2 days ago caught everyone completely off guard. Here's where things get really serious, y'all. According to reports that are now circulating, Tamar was found by a close friend in what can only be described as a terrifying scene. We're talking about a pool of blood, and Tamar herself has come forward to say she almost died. Now, I want to be very clear here. We're still getting information as it comes in, and Tamar has been somewhat private about the exact details, which honestly I respect. When someone goes through something this traumatic, they deserve to share what they're comfortable sharing on their own terms. What we do know is that this wasn't some minor incident. When someone says they almost died, and there's mention of being found in a pool of blood, we're talking about something genuinely life-threatening. The fact that it was a friend who found her suggests this happened at home or in a private setting, which makes it even more frightening to think about what could have happened if that friend hadn't been there. Let's talk about the timeline for a second. This happened just 2 days ago, which means while we're sitting here talking about it, Tamar is likely still recovering from whatever went down. The woman took to social media to share this news herself, which tells me 2 things. 1, she wanted her fans to hear it directly from her rather than through gossip blogs, and 2, she's in a place physically and mentally where she can communicate about it. But here's what's really getting to me about this whole situation, and I know many of you are probably feeling the same way. Tamar has been so open about her struggles with mental health, and whenever we hear news like this about someone who's been in that space, our minds immediately go to certain places. But we need to pump the brakes on speculation because this could be anything. We're talking about someone who could have had a medical emergency, an accident, a health condition we didn't know about. There are so many possibilities. And until Tamar chooses to share more details, all we can do is send love and positive energy her way. Now, I think it's important we acknowledge the elephant in the room here. Tamar has been incredibly brave about sharing her mental health journey with the world, and it's part of what makes her so relatable and beloved by her fans. Back in 2020, Tamar went through one of the darkest periods of her life. She attempted suicide and was hospitalized, and the whole situation was heartbreaking to witness as fans. But what was beautiful about that situation, if we can call anything about it beautiful, was how Tamar eventually used that experience to help others. She started talking openly about depression, about feeling overwhelmed, about the pressures of being in the public eye, and about how sometimes life can feel like too much to handle. She became an advocate for mental health awareness, especially in the Black community where these conversations don't always happen as openly as they should. Tamar also dealt with some serious health issues beyond mental health. She's talked about having procedures done, dealing with physical pain, and the toll that years of performing and living in the spotlight can take on your body. The thing about Tamar is that she's never tried to present herself as having it all together. She's messy, she's real, she's human, and that's exactly why people connect with her so deeply. When she's struggling, she doesn't hide it. When she's winning, she celebrates it. And when she needs help, she asks for it. But that's also what makes this current situation so scary. Because if Tamar, who has been so proactive about her mental health, who has support systems in place, who has been through recovery and come out the other side, if SHE can end up in a situation where she almost loses her life, what does that say about how quickly things can change? It reminds all of us that healing isn't linear. Mental health isn't something you fix once, and then you're done. It's an ongoing process, and sometimes there are setbacks that can be serious and scary. And listen, we don't even know if this incident was related to mental health at all. But given Tamar's history and her openness about these struggles, it's natural that people's minds are going there. The important thing is that she's alive, she's communicating, and hopefully, she's getting whatever help and support she needs right now. Can we talk about this friend for a minute, though? Because honestly, this person might have literally saved Tamar's life, and I think that deserves recognition. We don't know who this friend is, and honestly, good for them for staying out of the spotlight during this time. But think about what kind of friend this has to be. This is someone who either had a key to Tamar's place, or was supposed to meet up with her, or maybe just had that gut feeling that something wasn't right and decided to check on her. Y'all, I cannot stress enough how important it is to have people in your life who will show up for you. Not just when things are good, not just when it's convenient, but when something feels off and they're willing to go out of their way to make sure you're okay. How many times have we all had that feeling about someone, like maybe I should call them, maybe I should stop by, and then we talk ourselves out of it because we don't want to seem intrusive or we assume they're fine. This friend didn't do that. This friend acted on their instincts, and because of that, Tamar is still here with us today. And can we acknowledge how traumatic this must have been for this friend too? Walking into a scene like that, finding someone you care about in that condition, that's something that stays with you forever. This person is probably dealing with their own emotional aftermath from this situation. It makes me think about the importance of having those ride-or-die people in your circle. Not the people who are around for the parties and the good times, but the people who will literally break down your door if they think you're in trouble. And honestly, it makes me want to be that friend for people in my life too. We're all so busy with our own stuff, but sometimes the most important thing we can do is just check on the people we love. Send that text, make that call, show up at that door, because you never know when you might be the person who makes the difference between life and death for someone. The fact that Tamar had someone like that in her life gives me hope. It tells me that despite whatever she was going through, she wasn't completely isolated. She had at least one person who was paying attention and who cared enough to act. Now let's talk about how the internet has responded to this news, because y'all know social media has been going crazy since this story broke. The overwhelming response has been love and support for Tamar, which honestly restores my faith in humanity a little bit. Instead of speculation and gossip. Though trust me, there's been some of that too. Most people are just sending prayers, love, and positive energy her way. I've been scrolling through the comments and seeing things like praying for Tamar. So glad she's okay. Mental health is real. And thank God for that friend. People are sharing their own stories about mental health struggles, about times when they almost didn't make it, about the importance of having good people around you. Her sisters, Tony, Tracy, Tawanda, and Trina, haven't made any public statements yet, but I'm sure they're dealing with their own emotions about this situation. Family dynamics in the Braxton house have always been complicated, but at the end of the day, that's still their baby sister, and I know they're probably scared and worried just like the rest of us. What I appreciate about the response is that most people are respecting Tamar's privacy while still showing support. Nobody's demanding details or trying to get the tea about exactly what happened. Instead, people are just letting her know that they're glad she's alive and that they're here for whatever she needs. There have also been a lot of conversations about mental health resources, suicide prevention, and the importance of checking on your friends. Sometimes it takes a scare like this to remind us all about what really matters. And can I just say, the fact that Tamar felt comfortable enough to share this news herself says something about where she is in her healing journey. She didn't have to tell us anything. She could have kept this private, dealt with it behind closed doors, and we might never have known. But she chose to be vulnerable with her fans again, which shows incredible strength and trust. It also shows that she understands her platform and how her story can help other people. By being open about her struggles, she gives other people permission to talk about theirs. She normalizes getting help, she normalizes having bad days, and she normalizes the fact that healing is messy and nonlinear. So where do we go from here? What does this mean for Tamar, for her career, for her family, and for those of us who love and support her? First and foremost, I think we all need to give Tamar the time and space she needs to heal from whatever happened. Whether this was a medical emergency, a mental health crisis, or something else entirely, recovery takes time. And the last thing anyone needs when they're trying to heal is pressure to get back to normal, or to share more than they're comfortable sharing. At the same time, I hope Tamar knows how much she's loved and supported. Not just by her fans, but by people who genuinely care about her well-being. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, it's hard to remember that people care about you, that your life has value, that the world is better with you in it. This incident also serves as a reminder for all of us to check on our people. And I don't mean just posting "check on your strong friends" on social media. I mean actually picking up the phone, actually showing up, actually paying attention to the signs that someone might be struggling. We're all dealing with so much in our own lives, but sometimes the most important thing we can do is step outside of our own problems for a minute and make sure the people we love are okay. That friend who saved Tamar? That could be any of us for someone in our lives. I also hope this situation leads to more conversations about mental health, about support systems, about the importance of professional help when you need it. Tamar has been open about therapy, about medication, about the tools that have helped her in the past. Those resources exist for a reason, and there's no shame in using them. And honestly, I hope this reminds all of us that celebrities are human beings too. They deal with the same struggles we do, sometimes even more because of the pressure and scrutiny that comes with being in the public eye. They deserve compassion, privacy when they need it, and support just like anyone else. The fact that Tamar has survived whatever happened 2 days ago means she gets another chance. Another chance to heal, to grow, to love, to create, to be present for her son, to continue her journey. And that's something worth celebrating, even in the midst of all the fear and uncertainty. As we wrap up today's video, I want to leave you all with a few thoughts that have been heavy on my heart since this news broke. First, if you're someone who's been struggling with your mental health, please know that you're not alone. What happened to Tamar could happen to anyone, and there's no shame in needing help. Whether that's calling a friend, reaching out to a therapist, calling a crisis hotline, or just taking things one day at a time, do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. Second, if you have people in your life who you're worried about, trust your instincts. Make that call, send that text, show up at that door. The worst thing that can happen is they tell you they're fine, and you feel a little awkward. But the best thing that can happen is you save someone's life. And finally, let's all send some love and light to Tamar Braxton right now. Whether you're praying, meditating, manifesting, or just thinking positive thoughts, let's surround her with all the good energy we can. She's been through so much, and she deserves all the support we can give her as she continues to heal and recover. Tamar, if you're watching this, and honestly knowing you, you probably are because you stay on social media, we love you, we're grateful you're still here, and we're not going anywhere. Take all the time you need to heal, and know that when you're ready, your fans will be right here waiting for you. All right, beautiful people, that's all I have for you today on this incredibly heavy but important topic. Make sure you hit that like button if this video resonated with you, subscribe if you haven't already, and please, please, please check on your friends today.